Good morning and welcome to The Real Outdoors, where I share my outdoor adventures with you and review the gear that will help get you there. If that's something you're into, be sure to click that red subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notifications bell so you get notified of all our latest content. You may have seen a short I did a couple weeks ago where I talked about GreenBelly ready-to-go backpacking meals and how I'm going to use those on my next Appalachian Trail hike. Well, I went on the hike. I'll share some videos from that experience as well. But for right now, I want to talk about how I did with GreenBelly meals during that hike. Now, I decided to go with these GreenBelly ready-to-go meals for my latest hike for a couple of reasons. One, I almost always pack way too much. Very seldom do I pack too little. But I end up coming home with a bunch of extra food, which means a bunch of extra weight that I didn't need to carry. GreenBelly has a 15 meal package, 5-day backpacking trip, 3 meals a day, 15 meals needed, all one package. Seemed real simple and something that was a good idea to try. You get the 15 meal package, it's a variety package, and you get it for, it's right around $100. I think it's $97 plus a few dollars shipping. And really, that worked out less than I normally spend on backpacking food. Between Mountain House meals, homemade backpacking meals, my snacks, my instant coffee, the fuel for my stove, and all that stuff. The second reason I decided to try the GreenBelly meals was the stove and the fuel and all the complications that go along with it. Now, I love to have a nice warm meal at the end of a backpacking day. It's kind of like, being at home rather than out in the woods. It makes you feel that comfort food feeling, But it can be complicated to, set up the stove, boil the water, clean up the stove, clean up your pot. And then you have to figure out, how much fuel do I need? And I inevitably carry more fuel than I need because I'm afraid of running out. It's just a lot of things to, occupy your mind with that I didn't want to have to worry about. And for those of you that don't know, the GreenBelly meals are a ready-to-go meal. They were invented by an Eagle Scout who was a former thru hiker, did a lot of backpacking, and he was trying to find and create the best backpacking meal possible. And he came up with these GreenBelly meals. It's got like you tear the top off, and it's a Ziploc bag, and it has 2 bars inside. There's like a split down the middle, but you can see like this has been in my backpack. That split is basically fused, so it's just one big bar. And so it's kind of like a protein bar on steroids. It's high calorie, high protein, high fat, high carbohydrates. They average about 650 to 680 calories a meal, so you end up around 1900 calories a day if you eat these exclusively for your meals on backpacking. Going into the trip, I was a little nervous about a few things. One, was I gonna be hungry? It's only 1900 calories. I know I'm burning a lot more than that over the course of the day. Am I gonna like them? They come in 5 flavors. So there's like a dark chocolate banana, spiced caramel apple, apricot and peanut, mango and cashews, and this is the cranberry almond. Just happened to have one left over that I didn't eat on my trip. So I was a little worried about, flavoring. I was worried that I'd need more than just these GreenBelly meals. I was worried I'd get tired of eating bars and no hot meals all the time. I am a coffee drinker, so I decided to go with cold coffee so I could go stoveless. A little concerned about that. But I figured it's only 5 days. I can survive anything for 5 days. Let's give it a shot. Now, to address some of those concerns, I did do a couple things. So one, I brought a few extra single-serve Spam packets. It's one of my favorite snacks or meals in the backcountry. So I brought a couple of those with, just in case I was hungry. I also brought some Carnation Breakfast Essentials. Used to be called Instant Breakfast. That's still what I call it, Carnation Instant Breakfast. And I brought that just to kind of flavor the cold instant coffee so I could get that down in the morning. I could have gone without coffee, but I was worried about having caffeine withdrawal headaches, and I didn't want to have to deal with that while I was on the trail. So I went with cold instant coffee and the instant breakfast mix to kind of sweeten it up in the morning, just for me to get it down and get some caffeine in the system. So how did that go? So on the first night at dinner, I ate all of my Spam along with my GreenBelly meal, and it's not because I was hungry, it's because I wasn't. And so after a full day of only eating GreenBelly meals, I wasn't really that hungry, and I no longer was worried about being hungry on the trail. And I didn't want to carry the extra weight of the Spam single-serve packets, so I just ate them, just to get them out of the way. I did use the instant breakfast a little bit every morning. I didn't use the whole packet. I basically just used enough to flavor the instant coffee. It was still terrible. Don't get me wrong, cold instant coffee, it was bad. But the instant breakfast made it at least bearable. I just chugged it down in the morning just to get caffeine in, and then water the rest of the day. But I did use the instant breakfast, so I'm glad I brought that. Like I said, I never really got hungry over the course of the 5 days. In fact, there were even a couple times where I postponed a meal or just I didn't eat breakfast a lot. I don't like eating that early in the morning. We hit the trail real early. So at our first break, I'd eat breakfast, then I'd eat lunch. And sometimes I really wasn't hungry for dinner when we got to camp, so I would just wait a little bit and then eat dinner. But I didn't find myself being hungry outside of, your normal meal times when you were hungry. So that was good. Definitely got enough calories, enough food from these. Like I said, I was a little nervous about the flavor and being able to eat the bars and only the bars. I figured I'd get tired of it pretty quickly, but I never really did. The flavors were really good. Every one of them was great. I liked every one of them. I did find over the course of the 5 days that certain flavors fit certain meals a little better for me. I really like the dark chocolate banana for dinner. Kind of satisfies that evening sweet tooth that you sometimes get. In the morning, I really liked the caramel apple flavor. It kind of gives you that fall morning with the cinnamon smell in the air and apples and things like that. It just felt like a morning meal, maybe like a apple and cinnamon oatmeal, for example. So I did find that certain meals fit into certain bars for me. One of my hiking partners, he just did grab bag, reached into his food bag, and whatever one came out, that's the one he ate. It really didn't matter. Any of the 5 flavors, I'd have been fine with. They all tasted great. I didn't get tired of them. Don't get me wrong, by the end of the trip, I did want a hot meal, but to me, that's more of a reward at the end of accomplishing your backpacking trip. I could have kept on backpacking with just GreenBelly and I would have been fine. My trip was only 5 days. Maybe if you were going longer, you'd want some variety thrown in there. I could see where longer than 5 days or maybe 10 days, you're gonna want something other than just these GreenBelly backpacking ready to go meals. But like I said, no complaints. I could have kept going, could have just kept eating GreenBelly meals and I'd have been fine. I really enjoyed them, I really did, I was surprised. My favorite thing about them is that they're just easy. I didn't have to pull out a stove and fuel, get the stove going, boil the water, wait for the Mountain House meal to cook in the bag. I just pulled it out, opened the Ziploc top, and what I learned after the first day is you can just take your fingers and squeeze the pack. The bar comes out, and you just eat the bar right out of the pack. I don't have to touch it with my fingers. I'm not getting food smell on my hands. My hands aren't getting sticky. It was fantastic. And then all I have left is this empty little Ziploc bag, throw in my trash bag, nothing to it. Super easy. Like I said, I could be done in about 10 minutes. In fact, I could have even eaten these meals while still on the trail. We're older guys, we like to take breaks. So we took breaks and ate our lunch or our dinner or our breakfast, and it took me no time at all. It was just super easy. Grab my food bag out, all ready to go, eat and go. Super simple. All in all, I thoroughly recommend GreenBelly meals for your next backpacking trip. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I paid for my meals, gave it a shot. This is just my personal review and my experience. I would recommend them. I'm absolutely gonna use them again. In fact, I think I'm gonna get a few for my hunting trips coming up this fall, because they would make a great snack while you're in the stand. I know it's gonna fill me up, and it's just one packet. And you're just opening one package, eating that one meal, instead of continually reaching into your pack for snack after snack, package after package, making all kinds of noise, moving all over the place, possibly scaring game away. This is perfect for in the hunting stand. And so I'm definitely gonna get some more for hunting season this fall. That was my experience with GreenBelly meals. I'm not sure if there's another brand out there that has this type of meal ready to go, especially one with this many calories and macros. This one has 650 calories, 24 grams of fat, 95 grams of carbohydrates, and 17 grams of protein. Never had an issue with energy on the trail. I think they're perfect for backpacking and, like I said, for hunting season. So I'm sold on GreenBelly. I'm looking forward to using them in the outdoors. I will have a link to GreenBelly down in the description, so you can go check them out if you want to. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by them, but maybe you want more information than I gave you here in this video, so I'll put a link to them down in the description. Don't forget to leave me your comments down below and let me know what you think of these meals and what you think of this as a plan for going stoveless or for your next backpacking trip. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I look forward to seeing you in the real outdoors.